Here at the FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. And before the action gets going here, we'll go to Hall of Famer Dave. Well, thank you, David. And tonight, the matchup at the center position is certain to draw attention. Not something we say every night because the bigs don't seem to be stressed. But tonight, Chris,
ready, gentlemen?
That is a factor.
Ready?
Thank God big guys are back in the game. Kevin, you know, I got this opinion that there's a conspiracy against the big guys. I mean, hey, big guys played in this basketball. You guys remember a guy by the name of Mikan? He was pretty big. So, yeah, tonight we have a great center matchup. I can't wait to watch it.
Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. Malone is out there with Hayward. And it's Smith. Then it's Johnson. And it's Gilmore in at the 5. And that one, good.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
Well, that opening right there, that's just because the defense failed to rotate.
Here's Westphal, covered by Smith. 6 on the shot clock. They get it again. Here's Hawkins. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And there's the call. Portland the foul. The Grizzlies shooting their first free throws of the game right now. And the Grizzlies enjoying the longest stretch of sustained success in franchise history. Greg, 7 consecutive seasons making the postseason.
And this group has gotten as far as the Western Conference Finals. And a lot to be said for that consistency. But, of course, everyone's in this for the rings. Interesting to see where they go from here to turn the corner into a true contender. Oh, a good open look, and he sprays it home from 3.
Gervin a screen on Hayward. Passes it to Capella. Poked loose, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will take it. Trailblazers have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Pass to Gilmore. Portland moving the ball around. Porter with the steal. And he's fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming up.
They lean on him for a big portion of their scoring with a good reason.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. And that one misses. And the Blazers with 3 first-round picks under their control this last summer. That's where you want to be.
Definitely. Picks 15, 20, and 26 in a strong draft class. That could really help reinforce a roster.
Porter with the steal. Dishes it to Gervin. Pass to Westphal. He feeds it to Gervin. 5 to shoot. Here's the screen. And that one comes up a bit short. And here are the Blazers. They trail by 1. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Sacramento.
Yeah, their last outing was a rough one. Have to be careful of falling in love with that 3.
Yeah, it looks good when it's going in, but they definitely force some. Overall, pretty inaccurate from out there.
And the basket by Johnson.
Oof, that is a tough shot.
The Grizzlies have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. And there's the pass to Westphal. Good on the shot. Westphal's got his first basket of the night.
Working the in-between area, the kind of look that can get you into a rhythm early.
Yeah, I think he was surprised. He was so open. I mean, that's just a defensive breakdown.
Johnson against Porter. Knocked away. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will take it. And here we can now take a look at how the ratio was between the 3s and the 2s last season for the Grizzlies.
And their offense centered around the 3-point shot. That was the guiding principle on every trip. Their first goal was finding an open look beyond the arc, getting that extra point every chance they could. 2 seasons ago, you think about the Blazers, they were a young, overachieving team full of great bargain contracts. Well, yeah, they're still young, but they had to shell out some big-time cash to kind of keep that young nucleus together.
And despite spending big money to keep their young talent all together, last season the Blazers, Greg, narrowly made the playoffs and were swept in the first round.
Yeah, and some of those contracts, they have to be a concern. This team doesn't show progress this season. Still, there's something to be said for that stability. This roster given the chance to grow together and develop that chemistry and continuity. Let's see what the ceiling is.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
The Trailblazers shooting their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game. And he can't hit the second. And Chris, still early in the season, is the pecking order of teams still up in the air, or is it starting for you to lock in?
Well, it starts to lock in for a couple of teams. Those teams that you see start off with those good records, 9-1, 10-2. Those elite teams that you see on each coast that kind of have their own mission. For everyone else, it's a little bit different. The pecking order, the fighting now, the jockeying really starts to get into right now. So that first 20 games, you establish who you are, your identity, and then the next 20, you're fighting to continue to keep that identity or improve it. So don't worry about wins and losses. Those other teams are going to separate, but can you just stay in the middle of the pack and improve and hopefully make your move when the playoffs come?
He dishes it to Gervin. Got a piece of it. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
Now flying high and throwing it down with the one hand.
Woo, one of his favorite moves right there, guys. Malone, a screen on Porter. Johnson kicks to Malone. Over Hawkins. That misses off the backboard.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Well, not all defenses are constructed to protect the mid-range area. Nicely done that time.
And they are going toe-to-toe here tonight, guys. This thing's like a heavyweight fight.
Punch, counter punch. Neither club's been able to sustain an advantage.
Johnson against Porter. Here's Malone. Again, the miss by Malone.
Now, that's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Well, that takes physical ability, good timing, those two things that he possesses.
There's the dish to Gervin. Memphis moving it around. There's the pick. Here's Porter. Porter can't get that one to fall.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Well, I like the decision-making, though. I mean, that's a shot you want to keep taking.
And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. And let's step back for a second to look at the top shooting point guards in basketball this season. Gervin outside. Capella with it, coming in off a 10-point performance last game out. Here's Westphal, covered by Smith. And the rejection by Smith. Hawkins shot good.
Oh, man, just an outstanding first quarter so far for him. He's doing a great job creating space and knocking down open looks.
Johnson against Porter. Johnson, the pass to Malone. To end the drought. And it comes off the front of the rim. And the Grizzlies leading by 3. Kicks it to Porter. There's the pick. Porter can't get that one to fall.
Not quite airtight defense right there, but his release was a little bit off on the jump.
Johnson kicks to Hayward. In the corner, Smith with it. Fires the 3. Second shot opportunity, and no good. Nice D from Porter. Got a hand on it.
He keeps battling, but so far this quarter, he hasn't been able to get it going.
Johnson dishes to Malone. Porter with the steal. And here's the break. Pull-up jumper. Kept alive. And count it, and a chance for one more at the free throw line. For Memphis, they have gone 0 for 3 in the game at the line, missing all previous chances.
And they've shot the ball well this season in terms of their attempts, 81%.
Trailblazers trail by 6. Parker passes to Coleman. Screen by Parker. Malone kicks to Parker. Nice job coming off that screen. Parker's got his first basket.
And when Parker gets space to shoot that jump shot, he is usually money.
Anderson kicks to Brown. Back to Anderson. The screen from Brown. Hawkins passes to Brown. Shot clock at 5. They set the screen. Shoots off the screen. Jump shot is good that time. And the Grizzlies lead by 6.
Yeah, off to a strong start here early. 6 points off second chance buckets.
Here's Malone. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass.
And look at how quick he was to bite on the pump fake. Left his feet way too soon.
Anderson kicks to Brown. Back to Anderson. Up top, Hawkins. Feeds it to Brown. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Brown's got his second bucket.
And now you see them starting to really work the ball inside.
Parker left side. Allen against Anderson. Coleman, the rim-rattling two-handed jam.
How about battling through the impact there and then willing that basketball in?
And Chris, we know you are always trying to connect with our fans over social media. We have a question for you sent in by a viewer who asks, Chris, if you weren't a basketball player, what other profession do you think you may have pursued?
Wow. Well, I used to want to be a wrestler and and other guys like that. But no, my mother was a teacher, and I always was with her in school. And I think, I love kids and hanging around kids. So it would definitely be something where I'm instructing kids. I don't know if it would be school or if it would be a gym teacher or if it would be working with kids in some type of way. But I definitely would want to work with kids.
I can see you as a teacher. Like if you were a wrestler, like what would your name be? Like would you be like the Flash?
Yeah. Oh man,
like, what name would you
have? It was some terrible
had?
names back there. Junkyard Dog, Coco Beware, Ultimate Warrior, Superfly Snooker. I know I gave my name back. I gave myself a name back in there. I don't know. I'd have to figure out first what my persona was. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I don't know. I have to think about that one. But I'm too skinny, man. I don't think I've broken up in that ring. I know that for sure. So I think I made the right decision.
Trailblazers trail by 3. Parker passes to Elliott. And it's out of bounds as the Portland Trailblazers retain possession.
Taking a look here at the numbers for Allen. How his last 10 games have gone. Second in three-point field goal percentage. And not many players convert opportunities inside as well as he. Top 15 in field goal percentage.
And back to your point, he's second in three-point accuracy. A lot of that has to do with mental toughness. It's just hard to force him out of his comfort zone. Here's Parker. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Towns. Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. You look at Portland. They're sitting 8th right now in the early going. And, of course, the Memphis Grizzlies, 3.5 back.
And for Portland, they had the kind of hot and cold start that we've kind of come to expect. Nothing that would indicate they're in for any kind of a breakout season.
This makes you wonder, will they continue to be inconsistent as the season progresses? At this point, they look like they're still finding out their identity as a team, which is why they have struggled.
About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Screened by Lucas. Brown kicks to Lucas. Some nice passing there by Memphis. Back to Anderson. Here's Schroeder. Memphis the rebound. Picked him clean. So at the end of 1 quarter of play, still a close game. Grizzlies lead by 3. Live from the FedEx Forum, you're watching 2K Sports. Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. And for Memphis, guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
I mean, a solid...
Trailblazers trail by 3. Anderson is out there with Dennis Schroeder. Then there's Towns. Then there's Brown. And it's Lucas in at the power forward. That's the lineup in the game for Memphis. And that one's good. Parker.
Yeah, the mid-range jump shot is just automatic from Parker, especially when he gets the room to fire.
Towns, the screen. Elliott against Brown. Rebounded by Elliott.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
The best laid plans, right? Well, I tell you right there, though, that's one they'll take every single time.
Brown inside, covered by Elliott.
I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
First team foul.
And around a minute gone here in the second quarter. And Anderson kicks to Brown. Clock at 6. Back to Anderson. From deep. The rebound by Cartwright. Cartwright's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Memphis leading. Here's Towns. Fouled in the act of shooting. A 3-point play chance coming up.
And from day one, Towns has been one of the NBA's top post players. A versatile, well-rounded game on the low block. It doesn't hurt that he can step outside and knock down the jumper either.
And looking at Towns and what he can do on the floor already at his age is impressive. This is a guy who's going to be a 20 and 10 player perhaps for the rest of his career. And as young as he is, I tell you, the sky is the limit.
Brown dishes to Schroeder. Screened by Lucas. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And it's Schroeder missing. Trailblazers trail by 4. And when you look at the second year for Towns, it's comparable to other great big men in the history of the NBA. And Greg, I'm talking about players in the top 50 of all time.
Yeah, I mean, just on the sophomore season stats, he looks like he projects to be one of the all-time greats. Comparable numbers to some of the best who have ever played it. Think of these names: Hakeem, Duncan, Ewing, and the Admiral. Maybe we'll be saying Karl Anthony Towns as well. And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Oh, yeah, incredible teamwork there. A play you perfect only by practicing it until you're blue in the face.
Schroeder kicks to Anderson. The feed to Brown. Towns, the screen. Back to Brown. Towns sets the pick for Brown. Loses the defender with the screen and drills the jumper. Brown's got 4 points now in the quarter. So timeout called here, the first for Portland.
And you think about it, for so long, the Grizzlies were kind of the throwback team. I mean, they had the 2 bangers in the front court, and they really rejected that whole pace and space movement. But finally, they've come around, retooling their lineups to get more shooting on the floor.
They set the pick. Passes it to Gilmore. Johnson the screen. Hayward against Towns. Johnson in the corner. With the floater. And denied. He sends it right off the glass. Gervin. No good on the triple. And Greg, you look at the changes for the Grizzlies, looking for versatility and adaptability in their players.
Yeah, grit and grind, still the identity, but you got to be able to space the floor and cover pick and roll. The era of a post-up centric basketball team doesn't seem to be in the future.
Well, for Memphis, their last game a loss to the Rockets.
Yeah, and the second chance points, guys, mean a lot over the course of a game, and they just had so few opportunities, and I think that was their Achilles heel.
You're right, Kevin. Not being aggressive, not following up their own misses. They needed a little extra kick to get over the hump, but they never got it.
Porter passes to Westphal. Towns, the screen. Pass to Gervin. Johnson against Porter. Dishes to Gervin. Three-pointer. Gilmore grabs the miss. Gilmore's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Johnson kicks to Smith. Hayward outside. Here's Smith. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Sacramento. 18 feet out. Hayward can't hit. The Grizzlies have gone 3 of 8 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Towns, a screen on Johnson. And it's Gervin missing.
Now look, if he can start turning some of these misses into makes, their lead is going to take a big jump.
Pass to Coleman. Johnson inside. Guarded by Porter. From 13 and off the front iron, and in it goes. And it's 6 points for Johnson. Guys, 7 times the lead has changed hands here now.
Yeah, and that number should easily top double figures before it's over.
Here's Gervin, 18 feet away, and he knocks it down. And the Grizzlies lead by 1. Trailblazers have gotten just over 50% of their shots to drop here in the second quarter. They're 5 for 9. Screen by Smith. Inside. That's good from Johnson on the assist by Hayward. 8 points for Johnson.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. Chris, during your playing days, you had a number of point guards that you developed an excellent rapport with. What do you feel is the most important part of being a successful point guard in the league?
You have to be a great leader to be a successful point guard in the league. You have to be open. You have to be tough on guys. You have to know guys' personality, and you have to be giving. You have to trust your guys. And I was blessed. I played with some really good point guards that had all of those qualities.
Clint Capella, he's checked in for Memphis. Hawkins comes in for Lucas. For Portland, they've gone 6 of 10 from the floor here in the second quarter. On the wing, Johnson, guarded by Porter. They set the pick. Here's Hayward, and Capella sends it back. And now the Grizzlies, fast break. And again, Memphis no good.
And gotta like what they've been doing down low in the post.
Smith, no luck. Memphis trailing here. Outside, Porter. He kicks it to Gervin. Connects from three-point range. Gervin's got 5 points now in the quarter. He talked about a back-and-forth game. This is the definition.
You have to love these kinds of games, scoring-wise, keeping everybody on their toes.
Here's Westphal. Pulls it up. And it's Gervin missing. And for Portland, they're shooting 38% from the field. A pretty weak showing for them. Hayward against Gervin. Hayward passes to Gilmore. Marked down low that time, and he got the 3-second call. And some of these distributors have been very hot from beyond the arc this season. The best three-point shooting point guards in the league. Outside, Porter. They set the pick. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, the Blazers' offense is based on flow and movement. A lot of screens off the ball, creating openings for their shooters.
And the Blazers, one of the better offensive teams in the league. Very unpredictable.
Well, they keep the defense moving and reacting. They keep the weak side occupied, not stagnant, with a lot of isolation or post-ups.
Free throw good. Porter. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
Johnson against Porter. They set the pick. Malone dishes to Smith. Hayward on the wing. He's coming off a 19-point game against Sacramento.
Don't forget his rebounding work, too. They couldn't contain him on the glass.
And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two. That's on Clint Capella. The Trailblazers have shot 80% from the line tonight, going 4 of 5 so far.
And how about as a group, 80% on the season, one of their best attributes.
Memphis has gone 1 of 6 from three-point land in the second quarter, less than 20%, but they've continued to let them fly. Hawkins sinks it from just inside the baseline. Hawkins has got 9. Trailblazers trail by 4. In the corner, Smith with it. The basket good off the assist from Hayward. 6 points for Smith.
And those are two teammates right there working in rhythm. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
Porter kicks to Capella. And there's the pass to Hawkins. 5 to shoot. Here's Gervin. Rebound by Smith. Portland's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Trailblazers moving the ball around. There's a screen. High post shot.
And after that solid opening quarter, you can see now he is definitely starting to cool off.
And Gervin kicks to Hawkins. Now the dish to Gervin. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Oh, that's straight TNT, baby. Explosive.
That was pretty, and he just has that effortless knack for getting inside. Trailblazers trail by 3. Now Johnson. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Sacramento.
Well, Kevin, on top of that, with the defense trying to take shot opportunities away from him, he finds a way to get himself to the line.
Just 3 to shoot. Offensive rebound. And oh, he blocked it and deflects off the backboard. Porter to Gervin. Here's the screen. Shoots from the elbow. Hits some rim on the way in, and the bucket's good. Gervin's got 9 points now in the quarter. Johnson kicks to Smith. Hayward outside. Smith with a screen on Gervin. Feeds it to Smith. Shoots from the high post. He squares up and sinks it. Smith's got 8 points. .106 left to play here in the second quarter. Here's Westphal, covered by Smith. Malone against Hawkins. Shot clock at 6.
And that's foul number 2. And maybe you don't sit him at this point, but you really have to be careful to not pick up another before half.
Anderson, he's checked in for Memphis. Dennis Schroeder comes in for Porter. Allen's checked in for the Trailblazers. And Gervin kicks to Anderson. Buries it from three-point range. Anderson's got the lead up to 6 now for the Grizzlies.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
They set the screen. Hayward against Gervin. Kicks it out to Johnson. Another miss by Johnson. Memphis leading by 6. Now the feed to Capella. Schroeder passes to Gervin. And the 3 off target. And so it's Memphis with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. And they've created a bunch of turnovers with that turn. Thanks, David. And we'll be back shortly following halftime to get the third quarter underway.
the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
We so hope you enjoyed our first half. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. For the Grizzlies, the first quarter was pretty even. Their largest deficit of the period was just 4 points. They were right there within shouting distance the entire time. And guys, for the Grizzlies, Kenny, what did you see from them? And that's all we can do.
We're back with you here in Memphis, Tennessee. A gorgeous look at the skyline here in the birthplace of rock and roll. And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. While we've got a moment, let's set the floor. Brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up for the second half. On the floor for Portland, they've got Malone. Smith is out there with Johnson, and it's Hayward, and it's Gilmore in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Gervin dishes to Capella. He feeds it to Porter. Here's the 3, and he's good on the 3 ball. Porter's got it going here in the start of the second half. The first points in the third quarter for Memphis. Johnson against Porter. Johnson kicks to Malone. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Malone's got 6 points.
And that solid play in the paint continues here, guys.
Down low. That one misses. Hayward with some nice D. Johnson against Porter. In the corner, Smith with it. The basket good off the assist from Hayward. And that's 11 points for Smith.
The D with some heavy feet out there. I mean, they're too slow to rotate. Nobody communicating. They can't make threes that easy for them.
Here's Gervin. The 8-footer. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. 15 points in the game.
And I love the momentum he's building. Last game, he was just as dominant.
And defensively, you know he's feeling good right now. And as the opposing team, you better adjust your scheme accordingly. Solid start to the half for them. 3 of 4 from the field now.
Capella with a screen on Smith. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts and a chance for one more here.
And giving up some height, he just finds a way to carve out a little separation.
Well, it takes a lot of confidence and toughness to make that play.
The Grizzlies have converted 4 of 7 free throws on the night. And when you look at the younger generation of players coming in now, Chris, of course, you do the interviews, you see them, you talk to them. Is it easy for you to relate to these younger players?
Yeah, it's definitely easy to relate to them. I think that our generation had a lot of influence on their style, their kind of expression of self, just as generations before us did, and we have that unique bond. I think that's one of the advantages I have, that I've known some of these players since they've been young. I know their habits, I know that they're good kids, good individuals, and they just express themselves differently. You know, do I like the way they come into a game dressed looking like, I don't know, Ozzy Osbourne and Run DMC mix? Nah, I don't like that. But people used to say that about my style and my clothes too, Kevin. I'm sure they did that about you too, you know. So, man, I just love it. I just take it as we have some of the best players that fans have seen, and I'm just enjoying everything from the wild clothes to the music to their style. But no, it's not hard to relate to them, man, because they're all pretty good kids.
Chris, just for the record, they never said that about me. I always
yeah, you always set the trend.
Porter passes to Westfall, down low. Here's Capella. Hawkins to Gervin. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That's on Kevin Johnson. The Grizzlies have hit 4 of 8 from the free throw line so far. Folks, that's 50%. Not great work there. The Grizzlies making a switch here. Towns is checked in. And then for the Trailblazers, Elliott's checked in for Hayward. And Tony Parker is subbed in for Johnson. Trailblazers trail by 8. Smith the pass to Elliott. Brown is checked in for Gervin. We've gone about 3.5 minutes into the third now. Malone kicks to Smith. Knocked away. And now the Grizzlies, fast break.
Watch out. Watch out. An agile play to get his hand in there and get the steal. Intelligent play to immediately start the break.
Now a timeout called by Portland. Well, Towns does so many things on the floor, already an elite post scorer. But, Greg, one area that he has struggled with at times is his defense against other bigs.
And I think he'll continue to improve in that area. What happens with young guys, though, is oftentimes you're improved how good I am mode when you're young, and you lose sight of some of the things that help you win games. And I think that's one reason why he had one of the worst defensive RPMs in the entire league. But young bigs tend to take a bit longer to develop into great defenders, and I expect he will follow in that line.
Westfall and a wide open look for Porter. They get it back. Here's Towns. Hits it from three-point range. Towns has got 6.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
A lot of times your defense is your offense is your defense. This is poor decision-making right here. You can't let him have that shot. Also might have been a lack of effort.
And the rejection by Towns. Here's Westfall. He has 6. Here's Parker. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. And now a chance to take a look at the shot chart for Memphis.
Well, you have to think that he is going to look to go to the rim a little more often going forward because the three ball just hasn't been there. Sometimes it seems he's not getting his feet set or rushing his shooting motion, but either way, it just ain't falling.
And Tony Parker drops them both. And Tony Parker in the 2017 season with the lowest minutes per game average in his career. He was playing so well in the playoffs. I mean, historically well. Then, Greg, as we know, the quad injury in the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's pretty clear that 15-year run he's had as a starter, that window is rapidly closing. But still effective, just no longer the focal point that he once was.
No one near Smith as he lets it go. Porter pulls it in. Memphis leading by 9. Passes it to Westfall. Towns the screen. Westfall passes to Towns. Nails the wide open jump shot. 8 points for him.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Oh, you're up by double digits. They're trying to keep the momentum, keep the foot on the neck. That's his focus right now.
Here's Malone. It's rebounded by Memphis. Hawkins has got rebound number 12 here already in the game. Towns a screen on Parker. Parker with the steal. Now here's the fast break. Parker leading the way. Yes, that goes in. Parker's got 4 points in the quarter.
Yeah, and even though he's a little older now, Parker still possesses exceptional speed. He really turns on the jets in transition for easy looks like that one.
He's got a clear path. Here's Elliott. Now that's how to finish the break. Throw down with force.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
And how about the explosiveness he shows, going from the offensive to the defensive end in a blink.
Excellent use of the screen that time. Westfall's got 8.
He didn't let that first half get him down. He has come out firing on all cylinders to begin this second half.
Here's Parker. That's good. He's 5 for 9.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Here's Westfall, covered by Smith. Kicks to Towns.
And let's check out some stats for Porter. He's been a factor for them over the last month. He's putting up about 12 points a game, 8 assists, and 3 rebounds. And he has been passing the ball like a virtuoso. That's what really stands out about these recent performances.
Hey, every symphony needs a conductor. He unifies his teammates, sets the tempo, and they make some sweet, sweet music.
Anderson, he's checked in for the Grizzlies. Dennis Schroeder comes in for Porter. The Trailblazers also changing it up. Allen comes in for Elliott. And it's Johnson in for Parker. Johnson dishes to Smith. Schroeder against Johnson. Malone with the screen. Shot clock at 5. Allen for 3. Basket is good. The assist from Johnson. Allen's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. Up top, Hawkins. Now here's Towns. Defense is right there. Towns, the screen. Here's Schroeder. So the whistle blows on the shot, and 2 free throws for the contact right there. The Grizzlies have made 8 of their 12 free throws in this game, and the first one drops. Schroeder hits them both.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
Allen against Anderson. Malone kicks to Allen. Schroeder against Johnson. Allen for 3, and another 3 for Portland.
Wow, something's brewing, guys. The three-pointers just continue to flow.
Schroeder passes to Brown. Hawkins, a screen on Smith. Off the pick. Brown. And finished off by Brown.
Oh, my. He's just getting nasty on him now, fellas.
You know, now that they've built up a lead, this is when he really breaks out the really slick moves. Malone against Hawkins. Now here is Smith. He's guarded closely. No good. Shot missing. Now Memphis takes it the other way. They've led by as many as 11 points. Following this one, they get to host the Mavericks. And that game closes out the 4-game homestand for them. Brown kicks to Anderson. Memphis moving that ball around. Towns, the screen. For the 3. And it's Anderson that time on the assist by Brown. Anderson's got 6.
And no fight left in the defense there after a teeth-rattling pick.
Johnson kicks to Malone. Back to Johnson. Shoots over Schroeder. Up again. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
And, folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Now a timeout called by Memphis. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game, and that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
Catching up on the changes for Memphis. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. And Gervin subbed in for Brown. Allen, that's good.
Well, Terry Stotts now in his 6th season as head coach in Portland. I mean, he's been a head coach for a handful of seasons elsewhere, but this is by far his longest run with a single team.
And Anderson kicks to Hawkins. They set the pick. Schroeder outside, off the screen. Nice jump shot, good. And the Grizzlies lead by 7. And by all accounts, Terry Stotts doing a great job with the Blazers.
Well, this team has chemistry and a defined style of play. The new players love him. I mean, Stotts himself seems really happy in Portland. It's been a great match.
Pass to Hayward. Malone with the screen. Goes up to the stripe. The Grizzlies pull it in. Last time against the Trailblazers, they lost in Portland.
Yeah, and looking back at their last game against this club, they were badly out-rebounded.
What a battle for that rebound there. He did an outstanding job in getting position and hauling that one in.
And here is Gervin. And so it's Memphis, heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And let's listen to head coach Terry Stotts review the game plan with his guys.
Make simple passes. We got caught trying to make a great pass.
Just one quarter left in regulation. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. And the Grizzlies leading by 7. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Anderson. Then there's Hawkins. Then it's Clint Capella. And it's Gervin in at the 3, the small forward. That's the lineup out there for the Grizzlies. Sweet little floater. Gervin's got the first basket as we get going in the 4th for the Grizzlies.
Oh, look at the soft touch on the teardrop.
Johnson against Schroeder. Johnson kicks to Malone. Over Hawkins. And it falls over the rim and in. That's now 8 points for Big Smooth.
That's a mix-up by the D on that play. Not many guys you can afford to leave all alone from mid-range. Lucky for the defense.
Now, here's Capella. Out to the wing. Screen by Capella. And that one's good. Gervin's got 22.
First 3 of the half, second of the game. Can he heat up?
Here's Johnson. Goes straight through the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. That's on Clint Capella.
And sometimes when you want something done, you got to do it yourself. That dunk's the shot in the arm they need to really cut into that lead.
Well, Greg, it's certainly got everybody on their bench up and off their seats and cheering.
Well, Kevin, you know momentum is a fickle thing. Sometimes one simple boost in confidence can change the complexion of an entire game.
Memphis leading by 7. About a minute and a half into the 4th quarter now. Schroeder dishes to Capella. Hawkins to Gervin. Knocked loose. It's stolen by Johnson. Trailblazers trail by 7. Hayward outside. Schroeder against Johnson. Shoots over Schroeder. And again, it's Portland converting.
And he has the chops for this. Raising the intensity when it matters most.
But he's showing you he wants to close this game out. That's an attitude that he brings and is appreciated by this team.
Gervin against Hayward. But they get it back.
They are really crashing the offensive glass, and it's paying off for it.
Anderson passes to Gervin. Anderson with the screen for Capella. From the arc. Portland grabs the miss. Malone's got his 6th rebound on the night. Guys, this offense very effective.
And guys, the defense has been no match. They've just picked them apart. Oh, just a picture-perfect alley-oop. You gotta love that one, Kevin.
A little surprise, Greg. He didn't go for the big slam, but it works just the same. Here's Gervin. And it's blocked. Allen against Anderson. Allen dishes to Johnson. Portland moving the ball around. Pass to Allen. Shot from free throw range. No good. Shot missing. And the Grizzlies leading by 3. Shot to stop the drought. And again, Memphis no good. Trailblazers have gone an outstanding 4 of 5 from the field in the 4th quarter so far. Here's Anderson. The Grizzlies with another miss. Portland's gone outside a lot tonight. 17 times, in fact. 7 of 17. Johnson kicks to Allen. Over Anderson. Well-placed jumper from the free throw line. Allen's got 11 points here in just the second half.
How about this run they're in the midst of, on the verge of tying it up or maybe even taking the lead?
This is just an incredible effort to cut into this lead and get into a position where they could really steal this win.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Hi, guys. Well, during the break, I was able to catch what the Grizzlies coach was talking about with his team. He said, "This is what we play for, fellas. Let's knock them on their heels right out of the timeout. Show them how much you want it. Go get it." He really is fired up about this game, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. Gervin with the steal. 3-on-3 over Hayward, and count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
His touch has been terrific this quarter. Most of what he puts up is going down.
Smith checked in for Allen. Free throw, good. Gervin. Trailblazers trail by 4. Johnson outside. He dishes it to Hayward. That's in there. Johnson with the assist. Johnson's got 5 assists tonight.
They found the touch from the field here in the second half. It was a struggle in that first.
Here's Gervin. The putback. It's good on the putback.
Oh, man, Capella absolutely destroys the opposition on the offensive glass, using that gigantic body of his to snag down second chance opportunity.
Here's Gilmore. Here's Smith. And the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
And this offensive explosion has narrowed the gap.
Free throw good, Smith. Memphis has gone 1 of 2 from 3-point range here in the fourth. Porter passes to Gervin. Capella kicks to Hawkins. From the low block, uses the glass to drop it in. And the Grizzlies lead by 3.
Well, it's nice to have an option like him every time down the court.
Porter against Johnson. To the middle, here's Malone. Out to Hayward to tie it up. Goes back up. Johnson, a wide open look, and it's all evened up. Johnson's got 8 points here in this quarter.
The D did a good job shutting him down in the first, but he got loose and easily dropped that one in.
There's a good screen. Capella with a screen on Smith. Screen by Capella. Here's Westphal. And misses it off the right side of the rim. For Portland, they've gone 8 of 10 from the field here in the fourth quarter. Really getting it done.
Tremendous effort. I mean, this guy has already cracked double digits on the backboard.
Yeah, just outworking guys in there, being accountable, being a leader by example.
And one of the stories of the second half has been all of those second chance points. I mean, they have been terrific on the offensive backboard.
He used that pick just right. Westphal's got the game tied up here for the Grizzlies.
He's feeling it this half. Total turnaround after a rough first half.
Malone a screen on Hawkins. Johnson kicks to Smith. The Trailblazers rebound. A shot by Hayward, wide open. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And certainly they are not hesitating, letting it fly from deep here in the second half.
Johnson against Porter. Hawkins a screen on Johnson. 6 to shoot. Here's Porter. Drops it in from 14 feet away.
I tell you, he has some impressive moves in his repertoire. That's as good as it gets, but just one of many.
Smith kicks to Hayward. Johnson outside. Wants to get it to Malone and does. Over Hawkins, and Portland again with the bucket.
It seems like they found their rhythm offensively, and they're shooting the ball much better out of the break.
Johnson against Porter. Gervin dishes to Porter. Capella with a screen on Johnson. Hawkins against Malone. It's Porter outside. Count it, number 5 from the floor this game. He's now 5 of 11.
That gives him his second 3 of the half with 3 total for the game.
They set the pick. Johnson the screen. Goes up off the pick.
Ooh! That's how you attack.
Wow. Attack the rim, baby. Move out the way.
Gervin a screen on Johnson. Johnson against Porter. That's tipped. Hayward with the ball. Smith outside. Dishes to Malone. Johnson left side. Over Porter. Porter with a block. And the shot goes in. Gilmore's got the lead up to 4 now for the Trailblazers. Memphis has gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. Here's Westphal, covered by Smith. The pass to Gervin. Goes back up. Lays it up off the glass. Gervin's got 14 points now in the second half.
And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined with a soft touch to match.
Johnson against Porter. And it's out of bounds to Portland. They'll retain possession.
And defensively, great anticipation, making a play there on the ball.
And don't forget about the good hand-eye coordination. I mean, he almost corralled it in for the steal.
Towns, he's checked in for Memphis. 2 on the clock. 3-pointer. Hayward. It's hauled in by Hawkins. Hawkins has got 14 rebounds tonight. Going after. And here are the Blazers. Hayward a screen on Porter. Johnson the pass to Hayward. Here's Malone. And no good. Trying to use the glass.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Well, he did a great job of staying patient, letting the man make his move, and getting right up on the jump shot.
Johnson outside. Smith outside. Johnson the screen. Smith kicks to Malone. Over Hawkins. Malone missing again.
Oh, great effort there. That's how you defend the paint.
Yeah, he has that capacity. He knows exactly where to position himself to protect the rim.
Hawkins to Gervin to take the lead. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's going to go on Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, easy call.
He knocks down the clutch free throw. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 2-point ball game.
That's why his teammates trust him so much at the line.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. They're behind by 2. There's 31 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Hey, they do have enough time here if they shoot quickly to get the 2 for 1. We'll see if they try it.
There's 31 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Count it! And tie game. That is a huge basket right there.
Now, that is cold-blooded.
We want people to tune in, don't we? This is what they're tuning in to. Big moment.
Gervin dishes to Towns. Outside, Porter. We've got 13 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Westphal. Oh, off target.
Really strong rebounding on the interior, and he gets the easy putback.
Time called here. The Blazers decide to talk it over. Guys, your thoughts?
And the only chance here is a lob at the front of the rim. A tip in to tie the game. There's not enough time to get a catch and shoot.
So a close game sees Memphis take this one. That was a fun night of basketball and fabulous finish as they continued to wait out until the very last.